Hello and welcome to the Fitting in Fitness interview series. I'm your host, Catherine Basu, and if you're a busy woman who is looking for a more compelling reason to stick to her fitness routine than just to look cute in her skinny jeans, you are in the right place. During this series, I'm interviewing some really amazing women who are going to share with you how they fit fitness into their lives. They're very busy women just like you, but they swear by their fitness routines and cite it as one of the secrets to their success. So I'm excited to have them share their thoughts with you. They're going to share how they got started with their fitness routines, how fitness has had a positive impact on their lives, and what you can do to start adding fitness into your own life and start seeing results today. So my guest today is Jackie Johnstone, and I'm really excited that Jackie is joining us all the way from France. She's a social and digital strategist in Bordeaux, France, and the creator of the 4 pillars of great social media content system. She works with passionate online entrepreneurs to develop strategy and top-notch systems to make brilliant social media and webinars easy and effective so they can reach more people they can help. So thank you so much for joining me today, Jackie.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to be here, Catherine. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, I'm very jealous that you're in France.
You know what? It's like I have a really cute pedestrian street, if you could see out my window, but it's pouring today. It's totally gray and raining, so.
Well, okay, maybe not today, but on other days. It'll be a good day to have some wine, though, right, at home and just sip a glass of some French wine.
some Bordeaux. Yeah, we've been here for about 2.5 years. We moved for my husband's work, and I just feel so lucky still every day because it's a beautiful place to live.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, so I read your little bio there. Could you tell us kind of what a day in the life of Jackie actually looks like?
Yeah, so it kind of depends on the day of the week, which I think is probably something that most of us can identify with, right? Because we wear so many different hats in our businesses that some days are content creation and marketing days, some days are client days. But most of the time, I don't start my day until around lunch because I work with people on your side of the ocean. Sure. So my day gets a little shifted because of the time zone thing, which is kind of great because I'm not a morning person at all. so I get up around 9, maybe 9:30 or 10 if I've really been up late because I do work late lots of nights. And I get my kind of chores out of the way in the morning. So I don't really like to do work, but it's a good time to do laundry and errands and all those other little things that you need to do. And the bonus is that the grocery store is empty at 11 in the morning.
Awesome.
So I do that kind of stuff. And then usually I get to work around lunch. But before I sit down with whatever the first task of the day is, I do my workout. So that's how I make sure that I fit everything in and I get it out of the way because I don't know if this is the same for you, but as soon as I get down at my computer, it's like hours can go by and suddenly it's like dinner time. So.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of us experience that too. And I'm the same way. I do have, you're saying not being a morning person, being in fitness is kind of like maybe being a morning person on some days. Not every day is the same, but definitely I try to fit in, as soon as I can. And if not, I'm tired at the end of the day. And it's, even though I'm a personal trainer, it's the same thing. It's like, am I going to really fit it in or not? So it's great to get it in the morning. Love that. Very good strategy.
Well, I can't really work out first thing. I've tried. I try to force myself at one point to be like, okay, at 9 o'clock, I'm going to get up and right away I'm going to put my clothes on and do a workout, but it just never happens. And I stopped fighting with my personal biology. So I feel around noon, I start to feel like, okay, I'm ready to move my body. And I feel like when I start work right after that I have all this great energy and I don't feel as cramped for sitting for the next 5 or 6 hours if I've done the workout first.
Yeah.
So it works out well that way.
Totally. No, I feel this. That's the thing too. I mean, when you fit it in, you have that boosted energy versus waiting to get the boost of energy later on. So no, it's a great way to do it. Awesome. So has fitness always been a part of your routine, or can you talk to us a little bit about that?
So it's Definitely, like when I was in university, it was one of those things where the first year of university, I think most people are like this, you just like study and party and suddenly you're like, oh, I'm not playing these sports that I used to play in high school and I'm not really moving at all. And this can't be healthy. So I got into to running in university, and I've done a marathon and I did some triathlons. And it was great when I was finally done school and I had a full-time job, because you're like, okay, well, I don't have homework, so I work these defined hours, and now I have all this time to do other stuff. And my husband and I both play ultimate frisbee, so we were playing like a ton in the evenings when I used to live in Toronto. But then I moved to France and started my own business, and suddenly it's like being back in school because you never are off, right? It's like there's always something to do, and I love it, which is fantastic, but it also means that I'm kind of lean towards the workaholic side of things, where it's like 10 p.m. and I still haven't put my like Facebook down or whatever because I'm like just answering one more question, or I'm just answering one more email. And so after about the first year of being in business, I realized that our routines had totally shifted because we'd left and we moved, to a new country, and there wasn't the same like recreational sports opportunities for us, and B, just the business was taking over everything, and I felt like my body was really suffering because of it, like I just felt out of shape, and I put on a little weight and just wasn't happy, was starting to feel a little bit restless. So I started to look for options, like, okay, well, what can I do? And I played around with lots of different stuff, and I found that anything that involved me having to like leave the house for long periods of time, like CrossFit, I loved it, but it was like 2 hours because you had to go there and do it and get showered and then come back, and I wouldn't make time for it. It was like once a week maybe, and then I would feel guilty all week because I'm like, oh, I just don't have 2 hours today.
Yeah.
So the turning point for me, as someone who works from home, was Elsie Sparks, who I know is a mutual friend of ours, her tone and tune-up workout, which is 30 minutes, like start to finish. And I don't have to leave the house. So it really is 30 minutes. It's like 30 minutes, and then I can shower and be back on the computer. And it's crazy. Like, I didn't think I could get a good workout in 30 minutes, but I definitely can. And she's so encouraging, and there's like, something, I basically can fit something in almost every day now, whether it's like stretching or like the full body workout. And I feel like I get a great workout. I don't have to force myself to like carve a bunch of time out of my day.
Right.
And it's just as far away as my mat, which is always here. So I really have cut out the excuses for myself, which is really the bottom line of actually doing it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I love that she has that. And I talked to Marcia. I don't know if you know Marcia from her programs too.
Yes.
And so it's amazing, and it's great that you can just do it there, and you have no excuses. There's no traffic. There's no few hours traveling. So yeah, even if you're an entrepreneur, there's great options out there. So that's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you touched on this a little bit. Any other things you could talk about in terms of how adding that fitness piece in has had a positive impact on your life? Besides just like, the things you normally think about, like losing some weight and those things, anything else that it's helped you enjoy more, or tips there for us? Yeah,
so definitely I noticed when I joined Tone and Tune Up and I started doing it something consistently, like, at least 5 days a week, that I had more energy and I was able to sleep better, first of all. So that restless, like waking up at 4 a.m. with like the next big idea, which sometimes can be great, but sometimes can be awful, that has really diminished, so that I can actually like be tired when I go to bed, because my body's tired and my mind is tired, as opposed to just having the like mental exhaustion. And it allows me to really, I think, like be more focused when I'm working with my clients, just because I have you have that balance, whereas when you're not moving your body, it's like you feel it. You feel this, like, I feel this weird, like restless energy when I'm not doing something consistently. So it's definitely helped me like energy wise in my business, but also like my sleep quality. And I find when I make time for some movement in my day, that I make all kinds of other better choices, like what we're eating, and like whether or not if someone calls and says like, oh, you want to go out and like have a coffee this afternoon? Well, if I worked out, I had a shower and I got dressed, first of all. So now I'm like ready to like go out for coffee as opposed to being with my computer on the couch in my pajamas, which sometimes happens, right? So it helps me to like, do those other things too and be more social and be like ready to, to face the world and not behind glass.
No one really has said that yet, but I'm laughing because I feel the same way, like especially I have clients that are fitness clients. So if I hop on Skype and have a session, they don't need to know if I smell bad or, like I throw my hair up but yeah, I mean, when you actually go and do your own workout and you're ready in your shower, then you're more willing and ready to go do other things too. So that's funny. I didn't want to admit that myself, but I loved it. But now it's out there, right? But no, it's awesome.
Added bonuses.
Yeah. And then even though you have like, the easy access to the program online, do you always stick to routine 100%? And how do you feel if you miss a day or two? And what do you do to get back on track if you're not, doing it 100%?
Yeah, so I don't always stick with it 100%. I think I kind of go in waves, and I've decided that that's okay. It's okay to be like that. And sometimes, I just want to do some yoga, or I just want to stretch or something. And so I've kind of made a deal with myself that like I'm just going to listen to what my body wants. Like I'm not an athlete in training for anything. So if today I just do something simple, then that's okay. Yeah. And sometimes it's just a walk. If it's really nice out and we have a beautiful riverfront here. So I might just go take a 30-minute walk instead of doing my workout, and that's okay. So it's just, for me, it's more about like the rhythm of like fitting some kind of movement in a day, like whether that's a real workout that gets me all sweaty enough to have a shower, or whether it's just like some walking or stretching or something. There are days that go by where it just doesn't, I haven't made it a priority and it just doesn't work out. I try not to go more than like 2 or 3 days, which is what Elsie like helps us to keep on track with. And it's true because it's like, okay, well, now it's been 3 days, so it's time to like do something at least for 5 or 10 minutes to kind of get back into it.
Right.
Because I know I'm going to feel better if I do. So normally I can talk myself back into it.
No, I love that. I always tell people it's not like everyone that's, does add movement to their days. We don't always, have it 100% together, but you feel like once you've started adding it in, you kind of crave it and miss it, and it feels unnormal not to have it be a part of your day. So it's very cool. So any advice you have for the busy, entrepreneurial women who are watching that, still feel like they can't really fit fitness into their lives, they're just too busy? Any other tips you have for us?
So I would say that like this applies to pretty much any kind of habit, but it doesn't need to be the whole thing, right? It doesn't need to be 30 minutes. It could be 5. Right. I think it was Aaron Strutland's shrink session workouts, which are like 5 minutes. And sometimes like that's just what you need. You just need 5 minutes. You don't have to get changed. You don't have to, like make it a big thing. You can just move around. And like spontaneous cardio dance parties are my favorite for that. So like in between clients, like crank up some like whatever song is my favorite that I can sing all the words to right now, and like jam out in my apartment because no one's here but my cats, so nobody can see it. And that like just gets that like movement going. So maybe it's just doing that like once a day for a week and seeing how you feel before you think about adding 30 minutes.
Right. Yeah, because I feel like that it all comes down to just having that routine and just starting with something that makes it a routine, and then it doesn't have to be big. Then you can make it bigger if you want, but to feel the difference in your life, yeah, definitely. Dance breaks, totally fun. Love that.
I love Elsie in the Tone and Tune Up workout. She gives us these like calendars with like the different workouts on different days. And even when I'm not really following the calendar completely, I still print it out because I love Xing it off on the days when I do it. So that's motivating for me. It might not be motivating for everyone, but I love keeping track. So I have the count. You can't see it, but it's sitting right here. And it's just highlighter X's on each day because I like to be able to see, A, that I know if it's been 3 days, and B, like, I love it. That's my favorite thing when I'm done working out is to like X it off. So.
I have a calendar I give my clients, and it's so funny. Like if you want to use this, you can, but you don't have to print it out or whatever. But that's like the one thing that like they all love and definitely print out is their calendar. And it's the same thing you want to, because I'm very, pen to paper kind of person. And so it's funny that that's still, it's not just me. And it's Still very
totally
relevant.
motivating. Yeah. I like to give myself little gold stars.
Love it. Awesome. So one fun, to make this series a little fun, I've been asking everyone I've been interviewing to do a dare, something, small but actionable that our viewers could try to implement in their own lives to take some action and try to fit fitness in. Do you have a special dare for us to share with them?
Well, I think I'm going to have to go with cardio dance party because that's
it.
my favorite. It's only 5 minutes. Most songs are less than 5 minutes.
This
so
is true.
I'm like totally addicted to Shake It Off, Taylor Swift right now.
Yep.
So you can pick whatever song you like.
I love
put it on and crank it up and get a calendar out and mark off every day.
Love it. Be consistent with your dance party routine. Awesome. And shake it off.
Yep.
Very fun. And then the other thing I've been asking, we're motivating people with the fitness piece, but I know since we're still kind of near the new year, a lot of people have done like a word of the year, or maybe you just have a mantra or a quote you really like that we could give a little extra inspiration to the viewers. Do you have anything that you use that keeps you motivated this year?
I like to tell myself I'm doing it.
Awesome.
I'm doing it. Yeah. It's happening. I'm doing it. I'm doing my best. And just keep doing it every day, one foot in front of the other.
That's important, especially with your own business, because there's so many things to do. It seems like, you're doing all this stuff, but are you getting anywhere? So I like that you're doing it and moving forward. Awesome. Yeah. Well, it's been so fun chatting with you, Jackie. I would love for people, especially since we have a lot of online entrepreneurs that are tuning in, to be able to find your work and learn more about you. If you want to share anything that you have going on and how we can find you.
Sure. You can find me at JackieJohnstone.com. And if you're looking for a little clarity around social media content and not having to stress every day about what to post on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, the 4 pillars of great social media content system, you can grab the free training and some downloads at JackieJohnstone.com/4 pillars. That's the number 4 pillars.
Awesome. And I'll post all the links too, but it's always good to hear it as well and, and see what you have. We can always use more. I know I can always use more social media help, so I need to go check it out too.
Perfect.
Very cool. Well, this is going to conclude today's segment of the Fitting in Fitness interview series. Don't forget that your dare from Jackie is to fit in those cardio dance parties. Shake it off. I love it. So if you accept it, we want to know and share what you've done with us. Share maybe a picture of you shaking it off. I don't know.
I love that. I love to see that on Instagram. Tag me on Instagram. I'll put one up there today.
Love it. Awesome. No, so hopefully you accept this dare because it's pretty easy, And we'll all be doing it, so you won't be embarrassed if you see me, with my dance moves that are very questionable. But awesome. So hopefully that'll be a fun thing to get you moving, and really appreciate you tuning in and joining us today for today's interview, and hope you come back and check out the other interviews and get inspired to get moving this year. And thanks so much. We'll sign off from here, but thanks again, Jackie.
Oh, you're so welcome.